Hey, it's Baja Nicole, and we're back with another episode of Your LexPD. So we are going to talk about the air support unit.
Air support unit. And back several months ago, and I remember it well because it was probably the coldest day of the year that I got to do a ride along with you.
Yes.
So maybe it's time that you do it with me, right?
Absolutely. Fly along.
A fly along. So we're going to start out by talking with retired Sergeant Pat Murray with the air support unit. He is the unit coordinator. And then we're going to get up in the air and see what's going on up there today.
All right. And we are back. We are here with the air support unit coordinator and retired Sergeant Pat Murray. Thank you for joining us with your LexPD.
Well, thanks for having me on.
How are you?
Doing good this morning.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got to the position you're at today?
Well, I was a fixed wing guy back in the early 2000, flying little Cessnas 150, 172 as part of the flying club. And about 2005, they got their first aircraft in here, and they put out a memo of interest who wanted to come over to the air support unit. I got lucky enough to be chosen as a tactical flight officer, and probably within the first week of coming to the unit, they said, "Hey, you want to go to flight school, learn to fly helicopters?" And I said, "Twist my arm, I'm ready." So I'm the last of the original group that was started in 2005, and I've enjoyed every second of it.
So tell us a little bit of background on the unit.
So, as I said, the unit got formed in 2005. The first helicopter came in through the Department of Defense. These are ex-Army helicopters, and we get them free from the Department of Defense. And the only stipulation is that within a year and a half to be mission ready for the police mission. So we got the first helicopter in. It went down to Tennessee for a refurb, so it went completely stripped, getting rid of all the military equipment off of it, which is not needed for police work, and got equipped for police work. So got the first helicopter in, and we had a spotlight on it. Congressman Chandler got our first thermal imaging camera in here, which really changed how we do police work. That way at nighttime we can operate day or night. We can see the heat signatures of the people that we're looking for. And that made a big difference. Backtrack 1 year prior to that, before we got our first thermal camera, we have our second aircraft, Air 2, came in, and it went back through the refurbishment process just like Air 1 did in 2006. So we've kind of grown over the years. We really hit our stride probably a couple years ago. We had a really significant Homeland Security grant, which enabled us to get a tactical movie map, which is a map overlay to our camera, a new searchlight for Air 1, and just as important, came on board last October, was our new MX-10 high definition camera, which really changed how we really police. It was a total about $1 million over a 3-year period from Homeland Security. So it was a significant investment, and that we'll put our equipment against any air unit in the country. We may not have the newest helicopters, but our equipment, we're second to none out here. So it was really beneficial for how we police, beneficial for the community to keep them safe, and we'll be able to be very effective at what we do.
So we get a lot of questions about what the air support unit does. So we definitely want to talk a little bit about that, but who's on board during the missions? That's a lot of questions. How many people do we have on board, and what are the roles?
I have yours truly on board. Baj, probably don't know, people watching the show, he's my chief tactical flight officer. So we have 2 people on board. The pilot is in charge of the safety, flying the aircraft. My left seater, Baj, tactical flight officer, is in charge of the air to ground mission. So he's the quarterback up there. He runs the game up there. My job is to keep him safe, get him in position where he can operate that camera effectively, and he's probably got the hardest job in law enforcement, bar none.
And all of our pilots are commercial rated.
Commercial rated, yeah. And then, so even though our tactical fighters are not pilot, we give them bootleg time. They go through a ground school. They get stick time. So if an event that the pilot has an emergency and is incapacitated in some form, he's able to land the aircraft safely. So matter of fact, Baj is on the list to go to flight school. here in the near future. So I hope I got him ready and ready to make
absolutely.
a best step forward. He just needs to know his left foot from his right foot.
So as someone that works patrol, we love it when you all can come out and help us. But how else, like, do you all help patrol, or just the community?
No, it's everybody. You know, we have a law enforcement mission and we have a humanitarian side of it too. So yeah, everybody sees the law enforcement, they see the chases on TV, you know, that's pretty cool. But there's a humanitarian side of it too. You know, United States has a older population now, and some people have special needs, mental disabilities. Sometimes they get away from their caregiver, and we're tasked to go find them. We had one just recently, a couple of months ago. A lady walked away from her nursing home. They put a golden alert out of her. She had a 5-hour head start on us. We got notified. We found her in 45 minutes. So, and it's not all the cameras. We go to specialized schools. So back in January, we went to a week-long school for searching for lost person behavior. So we study that, what a person does. They make certain turns, they do certain things, and that's what we go to school for. So not only do we find people that walk away, but we're sometimes tasked to go find missing aircraft. Doesn't happen, thank goodness it doesn't happen very often, but sometimes we're tasked by the FAA to say, hey, we got a missing aircraft, can you go look in this area? So we do that too. So it's not all law enforcement, related.
And can you all help other agencies and other jurisdictions
yes,
too?
ma'am, that's a good question. One of the things about getting the mission equipment is that we support the surrounding counties that touch us. And we've been up near Cincinnati twice. Went to nearly Louisville the other day. One of the equipments that I didn't mention is the police radio. It's a special radio that's air to ground, and we can talk to all the neighboring agencies out here. So it's kind of seamless, and all we just push up a button and we're right there talking.
So we work with federal, state, other local agencies, but there are only 3 air support units in the state of Kentucky that actually have the mission equipment that we have, like you were talking about the technology. So that enabled us to receive some of that money through Homeland Security. So it's been a very big benefit for the city of Lexington by us being able to operate that way.
And one thing, Nicole, is we looked it up the other day. There's almost 19,000 police agencies in the United States. Roughly 300 have air support, a helicopter. Now some have drones, but as far as helicopters or fixed wing, there's only 300. So we're kind of a small fraternity. Not that everybody needs it, but Lexington, it's growing. We have 300 square miles here, and we have 2 major interstates that run through here. And crime does not stop at the county line like people think.
And everything we do is based on safety. So whether it's that missing person, getting them home safe, whether it is a vehicle that flees, making sure that the people on the ground, the families that are driving around out there are safe, and our units are not having to pursue them. And ultimately, as well, is making sure our officers are safe, making sure that if we're above you, from a different angle, being able to see things that you can't see, make sure that you're safe on the ground. There's
been several instances. We had one up in the north part of Lexington last year, and the people on the ground didn't see this individual steal a car and try to run it through the fence. Well, on the other side of the fence were 3 officers standing, and Badge was able to call out, hey, get out of the way. This guy's ready to ram through the fence there. So that's just an example of what we do.
Well, we appreciate it.
Well, now you've kind of heard what we do now, right?
Yes.
You think you're ready to get up?
Heck yeah.
All right, let's get up.
That didn't sound too affirmative.
Yeah.
I have allergies.
You'll be good. You'll be good. Let's go
I
up
love flying.
and see what's going on today.
All right.
All right. Clear.
Lexington Tower, good morning. Helicopter Air 1, East Ramp with Victor. Air 1 Tower. Yes, sir. Like the VFR was setting below 3,000, company code. Air 1 Roger, on departure, maintain VFR out of below 3,000. Mark frequency 120.15 and squawk company code 1 Air 1. Roger that, and Air 1 is on go.
the trees?
That is a great question. So a tactical flight officer loves wintertime because we don't have leaves, and it does, the visibility is completely different. How we compensate for that is flight patterns. We adjust those a little bit in the summer when we've got a lot of foliage. And then we also have the thermal imager, the forward-looking infrared, the FLIR on board. So depending on how thick the vegetation is, we'll utilize that a lot of times if we have somebody fleeing on foot, or if we have a lost subject on the ground, we'll be able to use the forward-looking infrared to detect body heat and try to locate them that way through foliage.
Lex Tower 1. Air 1, Lexington Tower landing at the east ramp will be at your own risk. Use caution, wind 2406, remain east of runway 22 at all times.
All right, Nicole, we made it back on the ground safe. What'd you think?
I love it. I love flying, so I loved it.
Awesome. So we typically only go up as we're needed for calls, kind of like a fire truck. If we get a call where we're needed, we go up. So we don't patrol or anything like that, but it is a whole different world. And again, it's all about safety, keeping officers safe, keeping the citizens safe on the ground, right? The public on the ground safe. And if we're needed, maybe a missing person or whatever. So a whole new perspective. You ready to join?
I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to flight school.
Okay,
Is that
awesome.
what it's called?
So next month, summer's coming up.
Yep.
What are we going to be talking about?
So next month we'll be talking to the Downtown Entertainment District.
And they work year-round, so you may see them on a bicycle in the middle of winter.
Yep.
You may see them in the pouring rain, whatever. But with all the activities downtown in the
Thursday
summer,
Night Live,
yeah, they're
all
going to
the
be
parades
busy,
and
right?
things. Yeah, very
So,
busy.
Great time to talk to them.
All right, so join us next month for your next episode of Your LexPD.